So the next wine that we were going to look at was our second vintage of Nero Diavolo.
Yep, so this is the second vintage of the Nero, and we think we're getting better as it goes along. The vines are getting a little bit older, and we're getting a little bit better at making it, I guess.
I think I'm getting better at managing
Yes,
it too,
yes, I'm sure,
because it's a very difficult variety to control.
Control the crops of that.
Yes.
But Nero Diavolo is a variety from Sicily, and got a very characteristic maraschino cherry character, and I think we're capturing it in this wine. It's had oak maturation. We don't give it lots of oak maturation, but we are trying to get a little bit of that extra complexity. It's also got a little bit of whole bunch in there, a technique that's used in making Pinot Noir, just to give you more complexity, a little bit more foresty character to it. But really we want to highlight the Nero Diavolo, that maraschino cherry character. And I think this has got plenty of it. This is the 2015 vintage, and lovely ripe maraschino cherry character on the nose. Palate, I think, follows very much in the way the Sicilians make it. Soft and rich characters. Easy tannins, are not hard. It's a very easy wine to drink. And as a second release, we're pretty happy with that.
This one also really lends itself to Mediterranean dishes.
Yeah, yep.
And it is medium bodied, but light enough that you can drink it without food, or can be added to a meal.
And then we move on to the Pipali, our Shiraz, Old Vine Shiraz.
This comes from the Blewitt Spring Shiraz. It's an old block of Shiraz. It may get 2 or 3 small irrigations in a vintage. We handle this differently in that it's cane pruned.
This is a 2012 Pipali, and I think shows a great Blewitt Springs character. As Sue said, it's from an older vineyard on her property, but this really shows you the difference in Blewitt Springs Shiraz compared to a lot of other regions of other parts of McLaren Vale. It's nice and savoury, very brambly, spicy fruit character, not that rich and sweet character. It's been matured in barrels of about 25% new oak, but it's all French oak. That matches that brambly fruit character. And this is the wine that looks great with a few years of bottle age. This is the 2012, our current release, and is drinking very well now. It's the sort of wine you can sit down and enjoy in a dinner party. Yeah.
This wine has been exported into Austria, and they've taken a very large percentage of this for the next 2 vintages. However, we'll have a new one next year, early next year.
But if you're looking for a soft, savoury style of Shiraz, this is it. This is not your typical McLaren Vale Shiraz. It's very easy drinking, I find. Certainly that one's looking very nice at the moment.
We have got a range of reserve wines. However, we thought for the point of this exercise we'd only show you the Shiraz. There is a Grenache and a Cabernet in this reserve range. The reserve Shiraz comes from what we call Block 9 Shiraz, and this is kept every year with the hope that it will succeed. Sometimes it doesn't get to a reserve standard, so we don't make a reserve wine every year. This block is very old. It's had to be reworked because of Utah, but we've managed to keep it going, and it requires virtually no irrigation at all. It's got its roots down into the clay below the sand, so it's a very self-sufficient block of vines.
Yep, and I think a Block 9 Shiraz has always had a very distinctive character about it, and that's why it's good to make it as a single vineyard wine. We make this the traditional way, has about 30% new French oak in it. Bottle aged for a little, barrel aged for a little bit longer than we would the Pipali to get that extra complexity and make it because it's the grapes are a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more richer. We give it a bit extra time in barrel to get more complexity there, and then we bottle age it for a few more years as well, so that when it comes out to you, it's a nice drink. It's already starting to show a bit of bottle development, and it's how we want you to see the wine. Having said that, I'm sure you could keep this for quite a few more years yet.